Just under 2 months to go, the presidential race is getting closer every day. And now a new poll shows Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton in very tight races in 4 key swing states.
Clinton's been falling in the polls as more headlines have come up about her email problems. And as Charlene Aaron reports, Trump is still bringing it up on the campaign trail.
With just 59 days till the election, Hillary Clinton is still facing questions and attacks over her email controversy. Donald Trump took shots at her over the issue Thursday while speaking in Cleveland.
Remember, Hillary Clinton was emailing about the drone program, among many other extremely sensitive matters. This is yet more evidence that Clinton is unfit to be your commander-in-chief.
Clinton has claimed that she didn't send or receive any email with classified marking. But a new report from Fox News says that a Clinton email had classified markings on virtually every paragraph. Meanwhile, Clinton talked freely about her faith to the National Baptist Convention, the oldest African-American Baptist denomination. Speaking in Kansas City, Missouri Thursday, she said,
"Sometimes people ask me, are you a praying person? And I tell them if I wasn't one before, woo, 1 week living in the White House or on the campaign trail would have turned me into a praying person."
Clinton's lead over Trump has been dropping in the polls in recent days, but the race will, as always, come down to the Electoral College, especially in the swing states. And the polls show that the race is getting tighter in 4 of the key states. In a new Quinnipiac poll that also includes the 2 independent candidates, Trump has a slight lead in Ohio, while the Republican and Democrat are tied in Florida, with Clinton holding slim leads in Pennsylvania and North Carolina. Clinton still appears to have the lead in the Electoral College, but the campaign is far from over, and both candidates are likely to focus the last 2 months of the campaign on the battleground states, where the race will almost certainly be decided. Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
If you're not registered to vote, please go out and register. You're going to be running out of time on a lot of states on their laws of how close to an election you can become registered to vote. And please make plans to vote. This is going to be one of the tightest presidential races, in my opinion, in history. Well, in other news, North Korea has conducted its largest nuclear test yet. John Jessup has that story from our CBN News Bureau in Washington. John?
That's right, Gordon. North Korea says its latest and most powerful test could allow it to build stronger but smaller and lighter nuclear weapons. South Korea reports the blast felt like a magnitude 5 earthquake. The explosive yield was reportedly 70 to 80% of the force of the atomic bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. South Korea says the test showed the fanatic recklessness of the Kim Jong-un government. Well, advocates for the persecuted church are urging Christians here in the U.S. to help their fellow believers suffering intense persecution in the Middle East. CBN's Abigail Robertson brings us that story.
The greatest humanitarian crisis of our era is unfolding in the Middle East, with Christian populations facing genocide. A group called In Defense of Christians organized 3 days of events in Washington, aimed not only at getting lawmakers to address this issue, but also to discuss how American believers can get involved.
The sad reality is we're seeing things actually get worse. In Iraq, in Syria, even in Lebanon, we're seeing increasing challenges facing our communities there. So I think we've yet to turn the corner and yet to kind of sort of witness any of the progress that we'd like to see.
Leaders from In Defense of Christians say one of the greatest hopes for ending Christian persecution in the Middle East is by bringing awareness to evangelical Americans who can advocate for their brothers and sisters around the world.
What the Middle East Christian diaspora are very often saying is once this issue ends up in the hands of American evangelicals, that will be the thing that changes the issue and saves Christianity in the Middle East.
Duran suggested American churches can help by adopting a refugee family, sponsoring trips to safer parts of the Middle East and lobbying elected officials to create safe havens for those suffering.
Engaging in advocacy, calling their members of Congress, calling their elected representatives, telling them that they care about the Christians of the Middle East. I think the leaders from the evangelical community taking site visits all around the Middle East, going to refugee camps, going to IDP camps, telling the Christians that they care, showing them that they care, and then figuring out humanitarian and political solutions to the problems that they face.
IDC and other groups believe that if enough congressmen fight the issue, the administration will be pushed to get involved too. Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Thanks, Abigail. The long legal saga for former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell is over. Federal prosecutors have announced they will not pursue a second trial against McDonnell or his wife. The Justice Department said it made that determination after reviewing the Supreme Court's decision back in June to throw out McDonnell's corruption conviction. McDonnell had originally been sentenced to 2 years in prison. He says he now plans to commit his life to serving others outside the political arena. And Gordon, as the Washington Post put it, he's free now, but a hefty price to pay for his freedom.
He was at one point in time on a short list for vice president nominations. It is a hefty price that Bob and Maureen have paid for this. Our hearts go out to them, as well as congratulations that the saga is now over, and we look forward to the next stage of their lives where they're going to be serving others outside of the political arena.